Hey you guys, it is the 1st of February, and all through this month, I am going to do missing person cases for February. Did you know that in a whole entire month, December, January, and February, for some reason, people go missing the most out of those 3 months? I figured it was because maybe it was closer to the holidays, maybe because the weather was cold, but no. Those seem to be the 3 months where we have more disappearances. Now, according to NorthJersey.com, 2 police officers that were the last people to see a man that disappeared over 2 years ago, they spoke about how they will receive their past benefits, missing 88 days, how the New Jersey Civil Service Commissions ordered one of the police officers to go from a 90-day suspension to a 2-day suspension. I mean, all that was interesting, but I wanted to know more about the man that went missing after these 2 people were the last ones to see him. On February 2nd, 2022, police officers had taken an inebriated Felix Dejesus, 41 years old at the time, into custody after claiming he was disturbing the peace at a Paterson bodega. Police officer Jacob Feliciano and rookie cop Dodi Zarilla had handcuffed Dejesus, who was complaining at the time that he had a broken hand, and they placed him in the back seat of the patrol car. The 2 police officers turned their body cameras off, and they said that they let Dejesus go at his request. I guess a drunken man who was just previously disturbing the peace asked can he be let go, and the 2 officers complied. Just like that. They claim he was taken to a Westside Park near the Passaic River and was left there, and all by his request. The police said that Dejesus ended up near a fire, drinking with several people along the river, and has been missing ever since. Dejesus at the time lived with his mother in Haldone, New Jersey, which is the borderline of Paterson, where this bodega was. Now, there was a woman at this bodega that said that Dejesus was harassing her and grabbed her, and then I guess that's when the police officers answered this call about this disturbance. The woman didn't even file charges, and she just basically wanted to get as far away from this scene as she could. And you can actually also hear one of the officers telling the woman to just write something like he touched you or anything, something like that. But the woman repeatedly declined. She just wanted to go home. She was not interested in talking about this situation anymore, let alone these police officers. And once again, the police officers supposedly dropped this man off, around the river where they had a handmade fire going on. I don't want to put that much into this case, but I have to, because it reminds me of the case about Terrence Williams, who was 27 at the time, and Felipe Santos, who was 23 at the time. And this happened 20 plus years ago. And supposedly, a police officer by the name of Steve Calkins, he felt like these 2 men were upstanding guys. Now, mind you, he arrested them for traffic violations within a 3-month span of each other. So these 2 men did not get arrested together. And this happened in Naples, Florida. So Terrence was, I believe, if my memory is serving me correct, he was a very young man in his 20s, holding down 2 jobs, and I want to say his tags might have not been right on his car or something like that. And I believe Felipe Santos, I think he may have not been legally documented to be in the country. And I think it was like a small fender bender that the people that Felipe was with, if my memory is serving me correct. And they offered, money to give this person for the little fender bender, but no, they called the police instead. And when the police got there, this is what happened. Now, I might be a little off on the circumstances about why these two men, Williams and Santos, was pulled over, but they were. That's the part I know that they were. And Officer Calkins said they were both respectful. So he wanted to give them a little bit of a break. Now, mind you, when we heard some of the audio, Calkins was making some type of racial remarks at Williams. Definitely. He was, acting like he was a black man or trying to sound like a black man and talking about the vehicle that he had at the time, which was very off-putting. But, I guess that's what they do for entertainment. So, he claims that he dropped both of these men off at Circle K. Again, 20 plus years ago, and these men were never seen again. And these two young men, they had families who loved and cared for them, but they were actually never seen again. And the police officers or people that knew Calkins, they believe that these two men are dead. And they believe that they were killed and murdered by the officer because one was black and the other one was Latino. That's the only reasons why. He claimed that he gave these two men a break, but he did not. He did not. And I had read some savage stuff that, police will sometimes do something like this. They'll take a person, bring them far, far somewhere where they cannot leave or they cannot get away, and they will do things to them or make them come back on their own accord. All kind of stuff. Like sick and twisted games. Sick and twisted games. And I do believe that these two men, Williams and Santos, fell victim under Calkins, who I know was fired, and I think he moved from Florida to Iowa and had some kind of lawn care service, but I'm going to actually have that video in the description. It's a short video, and I spoke about it, but it was sick when I heard about it. And I'm not saying that this is what happened to Dejesus, but where is he? Where is he? Honestly, if this was all legit, why couldn't they bring him to the drunk tank? Isn't that what they call it? Where they let him sit inside a holding cell so he's not a danger to himself or anybody else. Now, he just was grabbing on someone in his, drunken mind. So why didn't they just bring him somewhere else? Because he's going to be out there. And you know how some drunk people are. Dejesus may be the sweetest man when he's not drinking. But, maybe when he overdrinks, he gets kind of silly and stupid acting. I mean, that happens with people. So why didn't they just bring him to a drunk tank and then release him in the morning? I read articles where they have something called a warming center. I never heard about that. But I guess it's a place where they just take them out the cold. It's Paterson. It's Paterson in February. Okay, I'm from those areas. I used to hang out in Paterson when I was younger. It's freezing in the north around February. And it looked cold around this time. There was even snow on the ground. So why couldn't they bring him to the drunk tank, a warming center? Someone said even a hospital. Why not? He was complaining that his hand was hurting. But you allow him, because this is what he asked for, with a broken hand, a t-shirt on, to go hang by the river and continue drinking on a very cold night. Dejesus' family has called morgues, hospitals, to try to find their missing loved one and never was able to find him. So I was looking on Facebook and I ran across a post from Giovanni Dejesus. And he says this. I ran across this post last night. He says, God bless my brother Felix Dejesus, that 2 Paterson cops didn't do their job now. We can't find him. And both cops have a lot of family that work with the city of Paterson. So it's been very difficult for us and my family. Let's keep praying he could come back home. And then when I went to peek at it again today, the brother wrote or posted that the Paterson police officers have a $15,000 reward to find their missing loved one, Felix Dejesus.
Tengo la mano partida. Papi, la tengo partida. May.
1, 2, 3.
¿Y por qué me arresta?
I got him.
¿Pero por qué me arresta? Porque fui a comprar jugo. No está bien. Fui a comprar un jugo, ¿verdad? Ah, ¿verdad que sí? Por un jugo. May, por un jugo. Está bien. Papi, no.
Get in the car. Let's go.
Está bien, no me empuje. No me empuje un. Oye, pero tú eres.
Get in the car. Let's go.
Mira.
Get in the car. Let's go. Sit up.
Está
We
bien.
have to go on the other side.
Está bien. Óyeme,
Brother,
tengo la mano partida. Partida.
pull him a little bit more towards you.
Lo juro por Dios.
Jesus Christ.
Ay, tú me vas. Oye, tú me vas. Pero tú me vas a jalar.
Hold up.
Dale, mátame. Yo me siento, espérate. Jálame aquí. Jálame aquí.
You can sit. What is it? Okay, come on. Ready?
¿Tú no sabes español?
No, I'm not on you. Come on, get up. Sit up right here.
Pero espera.
Sit up. Let's go.
¿Quién tú eres?
Ready? Come on.
Espera, me voy a parar.
What did you say? Yo?
Déjame haciendo.
All right, so stand up then.
Nací. Espera. Tengo que subir este pie. Este pie.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Ya, gracias. Gracias.
Step in.
Ya, sube. Pero gracias. Así. Ya. ¿Viste? Gracias. Óyeme. Ojalá que tu mamá se muera.
Jesus Christ. All right. He touched you? He touched you?
Yeah, no, you told me to wait, but y'all can get off the We just need your name and stuff.
Let me get your ID, and I need you to just write something up, all right? Saying that he touched you and stuff like that. All right? It's
Yeah,
probably
but I
calls
ain't
for.
trying to do all this paperwork.
Trying to do all that paperwork?
Honestly, no, I don't.
So
Not at
what you
all.
have us do this for?
I didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying, like, what happened? Like, I'm saying I'm confused.
I don't know. I just know I went into the store to buy something. Whoever he is just grabbed me, turned me around. I don't know who he is.
He grabbed you in what way?
He was just standing out in the front of the store.
In what way, though? In what way?
Like, can that touch you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, he literally, like, just turned
Turn
me around,
around.
like, on some weird.
File complaints? Do you want to go forward?
Honestly,
Or
no.
he's just drunk?
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Listen, he just told me he asked me to tell you what just happened. I told you, I just want to go back to my house.
All right, no problem. You don't want to file no complaints or nothing like that? You straight?
Yeah, I just did 3 years, so I'm not into the whole, like, writing reports and doing all
All right, hey, no name on paper. All right, go ahead. You good. Uh-huh.